Church study? Good?
Yep.
I'll be reading to you today from Isaiah 52, verses 7 through 10, and I'll be reading from the New Living Translation. How beautiful on the mountains are the feet of the messenger who brings good news, the good news of peace and salvation, the news that the God of Israel reigns. The watchmen shout and sing with joy, for before their very eyes they see the Lord returning to Jerusalem. Let the ruins of Jerusalem break into joyful song, for the Lord has comforted his people. He has redeemed Jerusalem. The Lord has demonstrated his holy power before the eyes of all the nations. All the ends of the earth will see the victory of our God. Now, the first thing that came to my mind as I was reading this passage was the image of these ruins of Jerusalem breaking into joyful song. Now, we know that Isaiah had prophesied these ruins because we know as the Assyrian Empire was expanding that Isaiah prophesied the destruction of Jerusalem as God's judgment on his people. And it's kind of blew my mind a little bit to think about the ruins of Jerusalem breaking into joyful song. But I realized that as broken people, they were still joyful. Same for us, as we are broken people, we have yet still to be filled with joy because we have good news. Why? Because when God demonstrates his holy power, there is good news. That's what we see from the text, and that's what I want to say to you today, is that when God demonstrates his holy power, there is good news. And we see this as God is demonstrating his holy power in past tense in this passage here. He demonstrated, he comforted, he redeemed Jerusalem. And we see that as followed by a present future tense of the good news that is to come. And it's because the good news always follows God demonstrating his holy power. And that's what we see when he sent his son Jesus as a baby in a manger that we celebrate this season. God demonstrating his holy power and bringing good news. And what is good news? We see from the beginning here that good news is peace. It is salvation. It is God reigning in our lives. Jesus came and all of this was accomplished. That is the gospel. That is the good news. Our peace, our salvation, and that God reigns. All demonstrated because God's holy power. God demonstrates his holy power. Then there is good news for us.